Welcome in, everybody, to Boise State Patch Notes.
Okay, that's the name.
We're going to give you the weekly update. What's going on in Boise State? We're going to hear from players. We're going to hear from coaches. We're going to give you everything that's going on in forming a national championship winning program, because that's what we do here. I'm Michael Fisher, and the best way to kick it off is with the head coach, Doc Haskell, joining us. The 2025 season officially underway, sort of. We'll get into why it's unofficial for Boise State. But you made a big trip, right, this weekend over to Syracuse for the PEC kickoff. What was that for? What was that about?
You know what? It's the brainchild of Joey Gariziak and his crew up there at Syracuse. They have done an amazing job on their space. $2.7 million facility, part of tens of million dollars of build-out, like full curriculum program. He's got like a staff of 9 up there now. That may be an exaggeration, but not by much. Maybe it's 7. And they opened this amazing space over there, which has 16 million pixels on screens. I mean, it is absurd. But they wanted to do a PEC kickoff. They invited us and Michigan State and Nebraska up for Rocket League as part of their campus takeover, which was a Gen G and Spectrum Industries sponsored big event. So we got to go up and play in that.
Now, those teams are important if you didn't follow the PEC last year, right? Boise State. This was in Rocket League.
Yep.
Boise State, the defending champions.
Yep.
Beat Michigan State, who beat Nebraska, who beat Syracuse, right? So it's kind of that like top 4.
It was the Final Four.
Yeah, so it was the Final Four. So that's why you bring everybody together. But it didn't count for Boise State because it was our preseason, right?
Correct. Now, it did count the opening match, Syracuse and Michigan State, because it was their week 1 match.
Oh, so that's kind of tricky, right?
That one's in the books.
Now, we don't have the kids here today. I was hoping we were going to get some students, but what's it like? You through their eyes, what did you see? Was it their first time going to the East Coast for some of them?
Yeah, it was the first time they'd been
awesome.
in Syracuse, and I think all 3 the first time they'd been in New York State at all.
Nice.
They were a little surprised to see that Syracuse wasn't a suburb of New York City, that it was up in the Finger Lakes and Buffalo, and it was fun to see them kind of figure out what was going on up there. But they were ready to go, dialed in. We did a lot of really, I'd say, difficult prep for this match so that we just didn't get caught flat-footed. We can't let last year's results influence this year's decisions. Can't start halfway up the mountain.
No, you always got to start 0-0. And one more touch before we move on to just the whole PEC. Yeah. How did you approach it differently because it was preseason, right? As you said, Michigan State and Syracuse had their real game. Was there any sort of gamesmanship from you guys of, hey, we don't want to show this, or is it, hey, we're full bore, we want to defend, we don't care that this doesn't go on the record sheet?
Starting at the beginning of the year, every match that we have, especially the beginning, identifies our competitive level. So we have to get a correct measurement there. How competitive are we? And then we have to be able to build on that, right? So we came into it with the expectation, look, it's a tournament. There's a prize, not a cash prize, but there's a prize for this, and it's a statement game. So we wanted to make a big statement. We're not in Rocket League. We're not hiding any strats, and
That's
really
true.
In the other games, we're not hiding any strats either. There's nothing we're saving till the very end. Overwatch does have some specials that we'll look at, but it's not the right time to show them. But not Rocket League.
Did you make the statement you wanted?
Yes.
That's all we need to hear about. So now we get into the PEC.
Yes.
It starts this week again. Boise State had a bye, so everybody else played, as we heard. You guys start next week. What does that look like going into year 2, knowing you have the target on your back in Rocket League and in Overwatch, where you really even dominate even harder, sweeping through the championship? How do you approach that now in year 2, right? Year 1, it's always a little like, hey, how does this tournament work? How's this conference going to work? Does your thought process change going into year 2 now that you know how everything looked last year?
It reminds us where we finished. It reminds us that we have to remind ourselves that we're not the champions.
Yep.
We're not even defending a championship. We are starting with everybody else at the beginning, and we've got to make the same climb and the same journey. If we think we've done something, we haven't. Even though it's the same players, we don't have a single freshman who's starting in a position here. We have all returning players. We graduated just a couple. Ian from Ian Perfect from Valorant being one of them. Everybody else is a seasoned, experienced player, but we have to start at 0, even a little bit further back, because everybody knows and has seen us, we have to assume that they understand the competitive level and they're going to try to rise to it. So we have to work to push beyond that.
And how did you handle the rings, right? I understand you guys started at 0, but in pro sports, right, they have that second game of the year. Hey, we're going to have our ring ceremony, right?
Yeah.
We want you to be honored in front of everybody. Is that something we can expect, or was it much a closed door? Here's your ring. We're at the bottom now. How did you guys kind of handle that?
Our ring ceremony won't take place until November.
Smart.
Right.
Smart.
Well, I wish I could say that it was all by design.
We'll say it's by design.
Yeah,
we'll say
design.
that. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all by design, but it usually takes that long to get a ring run out there. And when we get them, historically, it doesn't feel like we're being crowned in that moment. It feels like this kind of token, this talisman of this thing that happened that we all share, and we all love it. But it doesn't make us feel entitled, which is important.
That's always good. That's always good. Now the PEC, they added 3 new schools, right?
Yes.
Minnesota, Utah, Baylor.
Yeah.
What do they bring to the table in terms of changing the environment, right? You add new teams, you're getting new looks. Excited, nervous? What are your thoughts on that?
Utah has been a school that has always been in our sights.
Yep.
They're regional. AJ Dimmick, their director, is amazing. And they've always been really high at a competitive level. We struggled for years to compete with them in Overwatch.
Yeah, I remember that.
In 2023, we beat them for the first time, and we started in 2017 playing Overwatch. It took a long time. They're really good in a lot of games. We play with them in the PEC and in Division I. And so we're getting to know them really well. Baylor landed 2 pro Rocket League players. We're not sure who their third is going to be. They played yesterday and played really well, lights out against Minnesota in their first game. So those schools are looking to be phenomenal. And Minnesota, who played their really strong program, I think they're going to be especially good at Smash. Something that we've struggled in the past, right? Michigan State, the top of the Smash field, and number 2 is probably not that close. We'll see. But Syracuse wants to be. They brought in Syrup, who's one of the top 10 Smash players in the world.
Oh, there you go. That's something to worry about. And what was the buzz like? Speaking back, what was the buzz like in Syracuse about these new schools? Right? Gosh. Is everybody pumped?
Yeah, they're pumped and a little bit nervous, right? You add big names like that, big schools who want to make a name, or who have been around since Utah's been around since the beginning. Minnesota's fairly new. Baylor is really new, but experienced directors in all those spots, they know how to recruit. They know how to get teams ready. They're not just a big name with a non-team. They're big teams with a big name.
Yeah, I mean, all Division I schools, so that always carries it. Let's talk about week 1 real quick as we wrap up PEC, right? Syracuse, I believe.
Yeah, for week 2 is our week 1. Yeah,
our week 1 there. Everybody else is week 2. Give us the quick preview across the games for that week 1 matchup for Syracuse. Week 1 for us again. What are we looking at for Boise State?
We know that Syracuse has improved in Rocket League. We didn't get to play them when we were there in Syracuse. They got to play Michigan State. We can't use the transitive property to say, oh, well, we're better than they are. That's not how the games work. So Gababy is back. You remember Gababy from the ET event that was here.
Yes, I do.
Gabriel Goodwin, his parents were there at that. It was good to see them as well. But great guy. Senior year, probably will come back for a Masters. They're going to stay strong for a while. They're going to get even stronger.
Nice.
On Tuesday, Overwatch, they were our championship opponent last year. They're a good Overwatch team, and they've made strides and improved there. Valorant is a question mark. We don't know what improvements they've made yet. We haven't seen their full roster yet. I think those got released late last night. I haven't looked at them yet. We'll have to do some work on them. And their Smash is really good. We took a few stocks off them last year, but we didn't beat them in open play. So we'll see what that is. It could very easily. I mean, if we're guessing, it could be a split. Now, there's no like.
It's game by game, right? It's not like you took 2, but it's still something you keep in mind internally.
Yeah, everybody. There's no standings for it, and I hope that there never is, because
it adds too much.
If we're struggling in 3 games, but we're pretty dang good in 1, schools should be able to celebrate their
Exactly.
really good.
No, I agree. But it's one of those internally, right? Win the week, right? You always hear that. Let's win the week. So again, we'll see. We'll keep you guys
That's
updated.
a good way to put it. Yeah, win the week. Yeah, we're gonna try to win the week.
Yeah,
they're a good opponent and a really cool school, and so grateful we got to go up there and do that. I did say to Joey Griziak, I feel bad, that we won your tournament on your opening weekend, and he said, no, you don't. And I said, you're right, I don't. But
it makes them work harder, right?
It does.
You want to be able to defend your home turf. Finally, as we wrap up Boise State patch notes, it's not just the PEC. We still have that Mountain West.
Yes.
That started, I believe, already, right? It's not as structured as the PEC. Some schools have some games, some schools don't. So you kind of got to play, hey, we'll play you in Rocket League, we'll play you in Valorant. Mm-hmm. So what does that kind of look like? Air Force was last week, I believe, in Rocket League.
Yep.
So what's on the docket for the Mountain West for Boise State?
So the Mountain West works like this. We play the games in the fall, which are Rocket League, CFB 26, and Smash. We play those on assigned nights, for the most part, the same week as our football opponent.
Okay.
So now we don't play App State this week, right?
Not in the Mountain West.
So we have SJSU, who is not on our regular football schedule. So they get dropped in the gaps in our football schedule.
There we go. That's cool.
And so that's who we've got this week, and they're really good. Long time Azog, Gabriel Eckenroth, who's their director there at SJSU, long time CVAL player, played at Maryville. I mean, like real pedigree. Mm-hmm. These teams are good. These teams are real good. We edged them last night in Rocket League. We played pretty well there.
Nice.
Their Smash team is they played for they were the conference Mountain West Conference champions last year.
And is it, I know when I was here a while ago, it was fall and spring for Mountain West for champions. Is it still that, or is
Correct.
Okay, so everybody meets in the fall, then we all meet in the spring.
Well, 3 games in the fall, three games in the spring.
Different, though.
Correct. So we don't play Rocket League in the spring. We play Overwatch, Valorant, and League of Legends.
Okay, all right. So starting off strong. I know Rocket League's kind of got that run right. I know there's the murmurs. I don't want to look ahead, but trying to let Durtho graduate as a full sweep of the Mountain West, right? Yep. So that's always cool. For CFB, I got to ask, is there any rule of, hey, we're going to use the Broncos and you're going to use San Jose, or is it,
That is the rule because you can play in uniform but not with roster. And you can so a lot of people will choose, they want to play as LSU.
Of course.
But you can play at relative equal teams in any uniform you want. What you can't do is if there's a quarterback in a place that has a super
ability, yep.
You can't get that at SJSU all of a sudden, right? Maybe you could if you built a custom team.
But then that's a little okay. Because I would love to push for let's have a.
We like to do it that way. It'll be interesting to see if we do it that way. That's the plan. That's always the plan.
It is again, teams aren't even, right? But that would be really cool. I think the Mountain West should be a lot of fun.
It will be, and we've asked to have the right to host the championships here again, and if we do that, we'll try to arrange something on or near the field. We had a competition recently, and Sprub, who's been our longtime player, he won the Mountain West Championship last year. He's not off the team, but he didn't win the tournament, right? So they're twin brothers.
The walk-ons, right? The walk-ons.
The walk-ons,
won,
right? Yeah. So it'll be one of those 3 players that takes on SJSU, and it'll be good. We'll play it as a best of 3, so maybe we'll get to play 2 different players.
We like that. We like that. And then finally, we handicap the PEC. Let's look at the Mountain West, as you said, Rocket League, CFB, and Smash for the fall. Where does the Mountain West and where does Boise State kind of rank in those games? What are your expectations?
So Rocket League, if you're asking somebody else, we're probably the favorite.
Yeah.
It never benefits us to think that we're the favorite.
No, exactly, but it's good to...
Right. We always have to be climbing somewhere, or somebody will pass us. In Smash, SJSU is the champ until someone says otherwise with 12 stocks.
Yep.
Hawaii has always been really good. SDSU has been good in that game as well. It'll be very interesting to see. But we also, we should point this out, we also have Grand Canyon. GCU
Oh, that's
is
right. Yeah,
playing in the Mountain West this
okay.
year, which was not popular on the basketball side, I know, and the other athletic side.
Yes.
But we love the GCU folks. Jay DeShong, who's their director, and Matthew is their assistant director. They do an amazing job. They're going to be really good in Smash as well.
Okay.
Really good in Smash.
And then CFB, where do we? I know our
CFB again. Never benefits to say you're the favorite, but we're
we would be
favorite.
okay if there was a poll. So we're looking good, but as you said, you got to start 0-0, and you actually you have a great place for me to end it off.
Okay,
I know it's down the road, but you addressed as part of athletics, you got to look ahead. Any thoughts? Any planning for what the Pac-12 and boys or the Pac whatever? I don't know how many teams we're going to put in it.
Right.
Anything on that end once the rest of the athletic department moves for esports? Have you even thought about that?
We're gonna spin it up. We're already in great conversation.
Oh, cool.
We got to play against Oregon State and Washington State last year because they were on our football schedule. You remember?
I remember.
So we know those programs really well now. They're going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Fresno State has kind of just been asleep at the wheel for a while. We're hoping that with their new athletic director, we're going to see more movement there. But Utah State has been fantastic. Colorado State has been fantastic. They have multiple Mountain West titles, right, in different games, including League of Legends.
Yep, well, I've been there for a few of those heartbreakers.
Yes. Who was it? Top?
Janatop. Janatop Game 5.
Oof.
The OGs remember.
Oh, never forgotten. But they're going to be really good. They're going to be and San Diego State is going to be really good.
That should be
they're
fun.
a great partner. If we get Fresno State to wake up, we'll have 8 strong programs.
What about the Zags? Right, they're coming just for basketball.
Just
Any
for
movement
basketball,
for
that's
them?
true. But they'll come for esports. They do have a club. We've not reached out to them yet, but we should.
Okay, so they've got something. But no, I appreciate that. Again, this is Boise State Patch Notes. Every week we're going to take under a peek under the hood, see everything that's going on. So big shout out for Doc to joining us. And we'll give you guys an update. How does the PEC look? How did the Mountain West go? We'll tell you all about that next week. But thanks again, Doc. We'll see you guys next week on Boise State Patch Notes.